Jaguar Wright has never been a quiet voice in the music industry conversation. Over the years, she has built a reputation for speaking openly, and often controversially, about powerful figures in entertainment. Long before many of the allegations became mainstream news, she was publicly naming artists like R. Kelly and Sean Combs, at a time when both were still widely active and commercially successful. That track record is part of why her more recent comments about other high-profile figures have drawn so much attention. In her latest wave of statements, she has also pointed toward Curtis Jackson, making direct and unfiltered claims about his personal life and behavior. These remarks were delivered without hesitation or careful legal framing, which has only intensified public reaction and debate around her credibility and intent. It is important to separate what is confirmed from what is alleged. Sean Combs, for instance, has already been convicted in federal court on charges related to transporting individuals across state lines for unlawful purposes, with a sentence issued in 2025 following a jury trial. The presiding judge publicly criticized his abuse of power and control in the case. He has since appealed the ruling, and additional legal proceedings and related investigations remain ongoing. There has also been continued public discussion around other high-profile names connected to separate lawsuits and allegations within the broader entertainment industry ecosystem. In that environment, Wright's past statements, some of which predated formal legal action in other cases, are often revisited by observers trying to assess whether she has demonstrated unusual timing or insight. However, accuracy in past claims does not automatically validate all present or future accusations. Her current statements about Curtis Jackson remain unproven allegations and have not resulted in public legal filings or formal proceedings. What stands out in the current moment is not just what is being said, but who is choosing not to respond. Curtis Jackson, known for being highly active on social media and frequently engaging directly with public disputes and celebrity controversies, has not publicly addressed Wright's recent claims. This silence has become a point of discussion in itself, largely because of his established pattern of quickly reacting to other industry situations. In contrast, his public behavior in other recent controversies has been far more outspoken. He has used social media to comment on legal disputes involving figures like Jay-Z and Sean Combs, often framing serious developments through humor, commentary, or viral content. He has also been involved in producing media projects tied to high-profile industry scandals, further reinforcing his reputation for engaging openly with ongoing entertainment controversies. Against that backdrop, the absence of a response to Wright's allegations has stood out to observers, not as evidence of anything specific, but as a noticeable deviation from his usual communication style. As with many ongoing disputes in the public eye, the situation remains a mix of verified legal developments, unverified claims, and intense online interpretation. The result is a narrative that continues to evolve as new statements, reactions, and investigations emerge. What makes the current conversation around Curtis Jackson feel different is not just what is being said, but what is no longer being said in response. For someone whose public persona has long been built on quick comebacks, trolling, and turning controversy into entertainment, the absence of a sharp reply to Jaguar Wright's recent claims has stood out to many observers. Wright's allegations, particularly the suggestion that he is concealing aspects of his identity, have landed in a public space where Jackson has historically been very vocal. Over the years, he has consistently positioned himself as someone unafraid of confrontation, both online and within industry disputes. That reputation makes any moment of silence more noticeable than usual. At the same time, Jackson is no longer just viewed as a rapper. His career has expanded into television production, business ventures, and media ownership. With that shift has come a different level of visibility and responsibility, where public perception and professional partnerships carry more weight than in earlier stages of his career. A large part of his brand has also been shaped by commentary on other public figures. He has frequently targeted artists such as Sean Combs and Jay-Z through humor, social media posts, and commentary on their legal or personal controversies. That long-standing pattern has made him a central voice in online celebrity discourse, often amplifying narratives around others' scandals. Because of that history, the current scrutiny being directed toward him feels, for some audiences, like a reversal of roles. The same online culture that once circulated his jokes and criticisms about others is now applying similar attention to him, revisiting old interviews, rumors, and resurfaced clips in an attempt to draw broader conclusions. None of those materials on their own establish anything definitive, but collectively they contribute to ongoing speculation in digital spaces. Public memory also tends to revive earlier commentary from figures connected to his past relationships and industry circle. For example, old interviews involving Vivica A. Fox are often shared online, along with unrelated industry anecdotes and long-circulating rumors. These clips and stories are frequently reinterpreted in light of current conversations, even when they were not originally presented as accusations or confirmations of anything specific. Similarly, comments from former associates of Sean Combs, including bodyguard Gene Deal, are sometimes referenced in broader online discussions about the entertainment industry. Deal has previously shared stories involving Combs and unnamed individuals, which later fueled speculation across social media. However, those accounts have never been substantiated as claims against Curtis Jackson himself, and no verified evidence links him to those specific narratives. Despite the volume of online discussion, it is important to separate speculation from established fact. Many of the circulating stories exist in a gray area of rumor, reinterpretation, and unverified claims, rather than confirmed legal findings. On the legal front, unrelated high-profile cases involving Sean Combs and a separate civil lawsuit connected to Jay-Z continue to move through the courts. These proceedings have kept attention focused on the broader entertainment industry, reinforcing public interest in how power and accountability operate at its highest levels. However, none of these cases directly implicate Curtis Jackson in any formal legal action. What remains most notable is how these overlapping conversations, legal developments, resurfaced interviews, and online speculation continue to keep his name circulating within a larger cultural discussion about celebrity influence and accountability. And in that environment, the lack of a direct response from Jackson becomes part of the narrative itself, not as proof of anything, but as an unexpected shift in behavior from someone long known for never staying silent for long. What stands out most in this situation is not just what is being said about Curtis Jackson, but how differently it is being handled compared to other public disputes. In past controversies, Jackson has been known to respond quickly, often with humor, criticism, or direct commentary aimed at controlling the narrative. That's why, for many observers, the absence of any public reaction to Jaguar Wright's claims has become its own talking point. Wright, who has previously made early public comments about figures like R. Kelly and Sean Combs before their legal situations escalated, is now also directing allegations toward Jackson. Her pattern of speaking before mainstream confirmation has led some people to revisit her newer claims more closely, while others remain highly skeptical of her credibility across the board. At the same time, Sean Combs is already facing serious legal consequences following his federal conviction, and his ongoing appeals and related investigations continue to keep attention focused on the wider entertainment industry. That broader legal context has intensified public interest in any adjacent or overlapping claims involving other high-profile figures. One of the reasons this story has gained traction is the contrast in responses from different public figures when similar accusations surface. In a separate instance, media personality Piers Morgan was forced to issue an on-air correction after Jaguar Wright made claims during an interview involving Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Following legal pressure from Jay-Z's representatives, Morgan edited portions of the interview and later publicly stated that those specific allegations were unfounded. That response included formal legal engagement and swift public clarification from Jay-Z's side. His team moved quickly to challenge the statements and demand corrections, leading to immediate changes in how the interview was presented. What made people take further notice was the contrast in how other parts of Wright's interview were treated. While the segment involving Jay-Z was challenged and corrected, her remarks about Curtis Jackson remained publicly unaddressed, with no reported legal response, public statement, or formal denial. This difference in reaction has fueled online discussion, not as proof of anything, but as a point of comparison in how various public figures choose to respond to controversy. In Jackson's case, the lack of visible pushback stands out primarily because it deviates from expectations based on his usual public behavior and the way similar claims are often handled in the industry. From a legal perspective, none of these unverified allegations have resulted in charges, filings, or confirmed proceedings involving Jackson. Still, the situation continues to circulate online, shaped by a mix of prior interviews, resurfaced clips, and ongoing speculation across social media. As conversations around the entertainment industry continue to evolve alongside high-profile legal cases and documentaries, each new claim or silence tends to be interpreted through the lens of what has come before, whether or not there is any confirmed connection between them. The situation surrounding the documentary Sean Combs. The reckoning quickly escalated beyond a typical entertainment dispute and turned into a wider legal and media controversy involving Sean Combs. Combs' team strongly criticized the project, calling it a defamatory and misleading portrayal. They argued that the series relied on material they claim was improperly obtained, footage allegedly collected over decades, and insisted that its use was both unethical and unlawful. In their statements, Combs' representatives directly raised concerns with Netflix leadership, framing the documentary as a violation of rights and an unfair attack on his legacy. They also referenced personal and historical connections within the industry while expressing frustration over how the project was handled. Their position centered on the idea that the material used did not reflect proper consent or context, and they publicly challenged the legitimacy of the production. The director, Alexandria Stapleton, firmly rejected those claims. She stated that all footage used in the series was obtained through legal channels and maintained that Combs' team was repeatedly given the opportunity to respond but did not engage. From her perspective, the documentary was built through standard journalistic and archival practices, with an emphasis on verification and transparency. The project also carried the involvement of Curtis Jackson as an executive producer, which added further attention given his long-standing public history with Combs. His association with the series placed him at the center of renewed discussion about how entertainment figures shape narratives around one another. Following the release of the documentary, new allegations emerged that further intensified scrutiny. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department opened an investigation after a music industry publicist and producer came forward with claims involving a 2020 incident at a warehouse photo shoot connected to archival clothing associated with the notorious B.I.G. The accuser alleged inappropriate and coercive behavior during the encounter, as well as a separate alleged incident in 2021 involving additional individuals. Authorities confirmed that the investigation remains ongoing, while Combs' legal representatives have denied the allegations, calling them false and damaging. Another individual featured in public discussion around the case, Clayton Howard, made additional claims in the docuseries describing alleged events tied to recurring private gatherings. His account included highly specific and controversial details. However, none of these claims have been tested or verified in court, and they remain allegations presented through testimony rather than proven fact. Despite the sensitivity of the material, the documentary proceeded with release, suggesting that the production team believed they had sufficient legal grounding and editorial support to publish the content without exposing the platform to immediate liability. Separately, Combs has also been the subject of broader legal scrutiny, including prior cases involving surveillance footage that contradicted earlier public statements. Even Combs' mother, Janice Combs, issued a public statement following his arrest, describing the situation as deeply damaging while also acknowledging that he had not always been fully truthful about certain matters previously denied in public. That acknowledgement added another layer to the ongoing public discussion, prompting renewed scrutiny of past events and statements. Meanwhile, in the wider online discourse, attention has also drifted toward how other industry figures connected to these narratives are responding, or not responding at all. In particular, the lack of public commentary from Curtis Jackson in relation to certain surrounding claims has been noted by observers, especially given how openly he has engaged with similar controversies in the past. As a result, the entire situation continues to evolve through a combination of documentary releases, legal investigations, public statements, and ongoing debate, with multiple narratives developing in parallel and few clear resolutions in sight. Diddy is currently serving his sentence at Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution in New Jersey, a low-security facility. Reports describe him working in a chaplain's assistant role within a rehabilitation unit. His projected release date is April 15, 2028, though he may be eligible for reductions through prison programs. The image of a former entertainment powerhouse now holding that kind of prison assignment has become part of the broader public discussion, especially given the nature of his conviction and the federal judge's criticism over abuse of power and control. At the same time, his legal team continues to challenge aspects of the case. One of their key arguments is that the judge improperly factored in conduct for which he was not convicted during sentencing. They've also pushed the claim that certain recorded material should be treated as protected free expression. These arguments remain part of ongoing legal filings rather than settled outcomes. Zooming out, reactions from within the entertainment world have added another layer. Usher, who previously lived with Diddy as a teenager, has spoken over the years about witnessing unusual and troubling behavior. In a later interview, when asked whether he would allow his own children to be placed in a similar situation, his response was blunt and immediate. He would not. Since the renewed scrutiny around Diddy, several celebrities have also publicly or indirectly moved to distance themselves. Representatives for figures like Ashton Kutcher and Leonardo DiCaprio have denied any involvement with that circle. Ice Cube has said he never attended those parties, while Damon Dash has described only a single brief appearance at an event years ago. The overall tone from many in the industry has noticeably shifted towards separation and clarification. At the same time, not everyone agrees on how to interpret the situation. Some voices within entertainment have defended Diddy's broader legacy, emphasizing his contributions as a businessman and cultural figure, while also acknowledging that no one is without flaws. But as more people step back, a larger question continues to surface. Who else was aware of what was happening, and why did it go unaddressed for so long? That question has widened the conversation beyond one individual and into the structure of the industry itself. Jaguar Wright has even suggested that 50 Cent's outspoken criticism of figures like Diddy and Jay-Z may not be purely about accountability, but also about positioning and influence. That remains her perspective, not a verified fact, but it has fueled further debate online. 50 Cent's role in all of this is complicated by his public persona. He has built much of his brand on commentary, satire, and provocative posts about rivals and scandals. He has produced projects that intersect with real-world investigations and often uses ongoing controversies as material. Yet when attention shifts toward him, he tends to stay relatively quiet, which has not gone unnoticed by audiences accustomed to his usual volume. Legally, the situation surrounding Diddy is still unfolding. His appeal remains under review in the Second Circuit, where judges have described the case as complex but have yet to issue a ruling. Depending on the outcome, his sentence could remain unchanged, be reduced, or parts of the case could be revisited in lower courts. Separately, investigations in Los Angeles are still active, and related civil litigation involving Jay-Z continues to move forward with key details still sealed. While none of those proceedings directly implicate 50 Cent, the continued legal activity keeps the broader ecosystem under scrutiny. Every new filing or hearing revives public debate about how much of this world was visible, how much was ignored, and who may have benefited from that silence. In the aftermath, the pattern many observers point to is less about any single headline and more about accumulation. Documentaries that spark renewed investigations, public apologies and retractions in some directions but not others, conflicting narratives from witnesses and associates, and family members of those involved offering partial admissions while defending character in the same breath. Taken together, it leaves the story in an unresolved state, part legal process, part cultural reckoning, and part ongoing public argument about power, accountability, and who gets believed when the spotlight finally turns. Through all of this unfolding controversy, one figure who helped bring parts of Diddy's story into sharper public focus through a multi-part documentary has, at least publicly, remained largely silent when similar claims have been directed his way. Not in the headlines, not in interviews, not in any direct public response. That contrast has become part of the broader conversation. On one side, lawyers and representatives have moved aggressively to challenge or shut down certain accusations. On another, some allegations have lingered without the same level of legal pushback or public engagement. The imbalance in response has not gone unnoticed. The documentary itself played a role in resurfacing old claims and introducing new ones, yet the conversation around its creator has stayed comparatively muted, even as scrutiny around related figures intensified. At the same time, Diddy's own mother acknowledged that he had not been fully honest regarding aspects of the Cassie footage situation, adding another layer to an already complicated narrative. Meanwhile, performers who once rose within that same cultural ecosystem have increasingly chosen to distance themselves from it altogether. Against that backdrop, attention keeps circling back to 50 Cent, an artist and producer who has built a reputation around commentary, criticism, and publicly challenging others in the industry. Yet when allegations or insinuations have been aimed in his direction, his public response has been minimal or absent, a noticeable shift from his usual outspoken approach. Whether that silence carries meaning or is simply coincidence depends on interpretation. What is clear, however, is that public curiosity has not faded. As legal proceedings continue, appeals move forward, and related investigations remain active, audiences are still watching closely, not just the central figures of the case, but everyone orbiting it and choosing when to speak and when to stay quiet.